All it is just little beacon things that have different colors on it. And so like
Which I actually didn't go on these little things.
okay. No, don't mess up my name. You have to get it in that hole. You have to.
Liters of potatoes. You know, when you're spending a lot of time making potatoes, that's a lot. So I was a bit devastated last night. Excuse me, but yeah, did manage to recover. Can't even do that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode by Brennan World, and today is my, well not today, but tomorrow is my sweet 16, so yes, I'm finally turning 16, yeah, so today is actually my big brother's birthday, October 22nd, it's his 21st birthday, yeah, so, but tomorrow is actually October 23rd, of course, so that is going to be my 16th birthday, but today, just as a little, birthday thing, my big brother didn't end up going to the movie to see it with us, because he went and hung out with some friends instead, because that's what he's usually doing. He's usually not home most of the time, whether he's at work or hanging out with friends. I rarely see him actually, so, yeah, but, so we went and saw a movie, my mom, dad, Brayton and I, which is pretty rare. Usually it's only me, usually it's either me, just me, or me and my dad, or my dad and I, so yeah, so we went and saw Only the Brave, so I'm gonna do my review on it. It's not too long, it's only a page and about a paragraph on that page, so here we go. So, Only the Brave is directed by Joseph Kosinski, who has directed 3 other movies, which are The Dig, Oblivion, and Tron Legacy. It stars Josh Brolin as Eric Marsh, Miles Teller as Brendan McDonough, James Badgedale as Jesse Steed, Taylor Kitsch as Christopher McKenzie, Geoffrey Jeff Stoltz as Travis Turbyfill, Jennifer Connelly as Amanda Marsh, and Jeff Bridges as Dwayne Steinbrink. Now, I wasn't planning on going to see this film, but I did want to see it. So the day before my birthday, my dad, mom, little brother, and I went and saw it, and it was worth it. I was thinking about switching and seeing Blade Runner 2049, but it didn't start until about 3 hours later. I also did want to go see Thank You for Your Service and Jigsaw, but those don't come into theaters until October 27th. And then there's Thor Ragnarok, which is coming into theaters on November 3rd, which I'm for sure going to see. So too much for only 3 weeks. First off, pretty much the whole cast was great. Taylor Kitsch was also in movies like Battleship as Lieutenant Alex Hopper, John Carter as John Carter, and X-Men Origins Wolverine as Remy LeBeau. And in all of those movies, I have not really been a fan of him as an actor, but he was actually one of the best parts of this film. I absolutely love Miles Teller, who has been in films such as Whiplash, War Dogs, and a not so great one, Fantastic Four, Fan Four Stick. And I also love Josh Brolin, who has been in films such as Sicario, No Country for Old Men, Everest, made cameos in some Marvel Cinematic Universe films as Thanos, and soon to be the leading role in 2018's Avengers Infinity War, and he's also supposed to be in the untitled Avengers sequel after Infinity War. And he's also going to be Nathan Summers, aka Cable, in 2018's Deadpool 2. In the stars list, I did not mention everyone that was a character in the Granite Mountain Hotshots, but they were all good. I just mentioned the higher up rolled actors, and Jeff Bridges was a pretty small character. So Only the Brave is a true story about some small town firefighters in Prescott, Arizona that fight forest fires. And after making some good calls to fight fires that other people don't agree with, they eventually get rewarded by getting certified as official hotshots, and they name themselves the Granite Mountain Hotshots. It took place in 2008. Brendan is a life junkie that figures out one night that his ex-girlfriend, Natalie Johnson, played by Natalie Hall, is 5 months pregnant with his child, so he decides that it's finally time to get his life together by getting a career with the Prescott fire team. And he gets the nickname Donut since he struggled badly at first. Anyway, it turns out that Eric and Brendan have something in common later, and that is that they both want to quit after the fire season to connect and be with their families more. Brendan has a girlfriend, and daughter to be with, and Eric has a wife that wants him more than 10% of his time. But after fighting a few fires, one more happens that ends up going way worse than thought. There were a lot of funny scenes throughout this film, also mainly the scene where Brendan was home with his daughter without his girlfriend for the first time, so Jesse and him had to figure some stuff out with her being sick and all. And also the scene where Brendan took a bad selfie of him, proving that he did make it to the top of the mountain in the run when he first joined, and then how he was walking all sore the next day, and he was also sunburned. Eric is of course the leader of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, and Jesse is the second in command that has to take over for one of the fires and does very well. And the team perfectly cuts off the fire and they save a giant juniper tree, which Brendan later turns into a great memorial for the whole rest of the Granite Mountain Hotshots. And James Badge Dale played Eric Savin in Iron Man 3, so it was nice to see him again. And Eric Savin, if you don't remember, in Iron Man 3 he was like the second in command extremist soldier right after the leader, which was Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce. So anyway, overall, Only the Brave was a great film that I definitely recommend. The soundtrack was pretty darn good, along with the acting and the huge landscape shots with a lot of awesome bird's eye view shots. I can't wait to see what Joseph Kosinski does next, because his 3 films have done okay, but this one is doing great so far and is Oscar-worthy cinema in my opinion. He has a lot of potential. And you also know everything about this story by the end of the film. When I first saw the TV spot for this film, I thought it was about the Man Gulch Fire of 1949 that me and 2 of my friends did our Montana project at the end of last school year. But then I realized that it wasn't. So going into this film, I knew what it was about, but nothing about the story or what happened, like who perished and who did not. I also think that this is a great film, I also think that it is great for this film to come out towards the end of the worst dry fire seasons that Montana and Los Angeles have had in quite a while. Lastly, I have only had a few films make my eyes water, which were Forrest Gump, $1 Million Baby, A Ghost Story, Mr. Church, Dead Poets Society, and Life is Beautiful. But this has now joined the list. It is actually the second most sad movie I have ever seen so far, just after Mr. Church. It also probably gave me chills longer than any other film has so far. Towards the end, with the major intensity, music, and sadness, it just really gets to you. And it was like my whole body was like chilling that whole scene for like a whole 6 minutes straight or so. So my mom and dad also got pretty teared up. My mom actually lived in that town for a few years when she was a kid. I really got sad when I found out that the whole team died except for Brendan. I was expecting maybe Brendan or Eric to die, but not everyone except for Brendan. In their training, they had to deploy these green training body covers over themselves in 30 seconds or less, just in case of a real scenario where they would have to use the real silver insulated body covers. And after fighting a fire, Brendan was walking with Jesse and got bit by a rattlesnake, so for the next fire, he was the lookout man that was away from the team to keep lookout. When the fire changed direction and trapped him, he escaped, but then the rest of the team had no choice but to die together. And it was insane how fast the fire was spreading and moving. It was pretty much traveling just as fast as the wind, and it was shown greatly in those, along with the smoked out area scenes and the Eric dream scenes with the flaming bear, were all amazing and beautiful in their own way. Since they were completely surrounded by fire in a valley type area, they deployed their covers and two men told each other that it will be fine. And Brendan just had to listen over this radio thing and feel that he should have died with them. And they told the families in a gym type place that there was one survivor, and I thought that it was someone and Brendan, but it was just Brendan. So he walked into the gym and everyone started crying. The real life picture the real life picture montage thing at the end of the film was also greatly edited and was pretty darn good. My only cons with this film is that it seemed maybe just 10 minutes too long or so, and also some of the crying acting came off kind of cheesy and made a couple of people in the theater chuckle before better crying acting got to them, but that is about all. So that is my movie review for Only the Brave. Definitely pretty unexpected film, and it's, I believe, right now, it just got into theaters this past Friday, I believe, and I believe so far it's going really under the radar. There's like barely any ratings, but it currently is sitting at 8.1. So of course I joined that because I rate every single movie I see, and so that was very good. So definitely check out that film. They haven't released, I don't know what the budget is so far, but I feel like it might not make it up. I don't think it probably wasn't a huge budget, of course, but I really hope that it does make up its budget, and it was a pretty darn good film, so definitely check that out because I would say the people that actually have their eyes water or tear up from film are really the only big film people like me, that really understand it and everything. So it was just really good. And so if you're a big film person, it'll probably make you tear up along with those other films I said got me to tear up too. So it was a very good film, definitely a good little birthday present type thing. And so that is all for now. I just decided, usually those are in day vlogs, so everything in the intro and that movie review, just to get them out sooner, I just decided that I would put them in my birthday episode. But now, after this, I will pick up the camera again tomorrow, and I will take off from there, and I will just film some stuff over my birthday tomorrow. So, yeah, and then I will film maybe just whatever presents I do get. I'll just show you guys those and everything, and yeah, that'll be pretty much it. So, yeah, that is pretty much my movie review, so I'll see you on the next part, when it is finally actually my birthday. So I'll see you tomorrow. Now I'm 15, but when I pick this up again, I will be 16.
good. What?
Hey everybody, now we got a birthday over here, so everybody gonna sing their birthday song. So. This boy, okay? Alright. Alright.
This is my candle.
I'm sorry. What's your name, buddy?
Brennan.
Brennan, come on.
Brennan.
Brennan. Alright. Now, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brennan.
Okay guys, so it is now my birthday. It's actually just about not, as you can see, it is 9:02 p.m. So I'm sadly probably not going to be able to get this video up tonight. I will be editing and I will very hardly try to get it up tonight so I can actually get it up not only on my schedule of Monday and Friday, but actually on my birthday. But I don't really know about that because I still have to edit a little bit. Of course, I just have to like merge these clips together, but I pretty much edited the whole like first half last night, but then I still have to export it onto my laptop, and then I have to upload it to YouTube. So I don't think I can have that done in time. But yeah, so sadly but I will still try getting it up more near my birthday. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna wait all the way until this Friday to upload it. I'm just gonna probably go off schedule for one day, and I'm probably just gonna upload it tomorrow. So it'll be on Tuesday, so off schedule, not on my birthday, but that's just the best I can do, because there is pretty much no way. But I just want to show this real quick, just to save some time for the next day vlog. You guys know I make custom minifigures sometimes. Just for example, I got my Suicide Squad Joker right there. Some bad ones like those two back there, Bane and Deathstroke. But then on to good ones again, like Indiana Jones, and I got my custom Hawkeye and Black Widow back there. And Captain Rex and Commander Cody and R2-D2 and Chopper back there, and so on. I got quite a bit of them there. My previous ones that I last showed were, of course, the full Marvel The Defenders team right back there with Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones, and those ones are very good, and I really loved my stand that I did to make them stand up there. So what I did is, of course, my Avengers have been like this for quite a while now with all the variants of all of the Avengers, or the classic Avengers from the MCU anyway. But they've kind of been standing above the rest of like the Marvel characters and everything down there. So I decided with my new custom guys, those two right there, that I would do the same thing. So of course Wolverine and Deadpool right there, they're kind of really known to be fighting with each other and stuff. So I put them together. As you guys know, I made those quite a while ago. Wolverine was like back there along with along with Indiana Jones, and then Deadpool was right there. So I just put Wolverine and Deadpool together back there and moved Indiana Jones right there. So yeah, so I just decided to put those two together because they look really good together, of course, up there, and you can see Wolverine and Deadpool on their little base plates, and put them on a little stand standing above, so that looks pretty good. And then over here I now have another stand kind of with like my Defenders one that I did with some drawing on it, and I made Spider-Man and Black Panther. And this is like my first. Usually I only make custom guys with like minifigures. I do not have any like type of I made that Joker, and I just got that Joker like a couple months ago, but I made that quite a while before Suicide Squad even got into theaters. But Spider-Man is my first one, custom guy that I made that I actually do have him anyway, but I don't have the MCU version. I have this Spider-Man, which if you guys know Lego, he is one of that Spider-Man right there, the comic book version. He is one of the most cheap and common minifigures that there is. He is worth like $2 when most minifigures are worth at least $4, and some of them are up a lot. I know one of the most expensive ones is well up in the thousands. Black Panther, ever since he made his first appearance in Civil War, he has been like probably my top 4 most favorite superheroes. Of course, my top 3 is number 1 is of course Deadpool, number 2 is Batman, and then number 3 is Iron Man. But after that would probably be Black Panther, and then probably V, then Rorschach, then Spider-Man, and then yeah, so on. But and then of course my favorite villain is Thanos. But anyway, I finally made Black Panther and Spider-Man from the MCU. Yeah, so you can see the little thing right there. I made it kind of their colors for their movies too, like their logos. Spider-Man, the yellow outlined in red, and then Black Panther, the black outlined in yellow or gold. And then I just did some like brick things right there. And then that is Spider-Man right there. I will show some pictures for both of these guys in a lot better detail and everything in just a second. But just a quick little thing. That is Spider-Man right there. And that is Black Panther right there. And just to show you guys right now, that helmet right there, usually I just like kind of take minifigures and paint over them and then use permanent marker and do some extra painting and scratching off with X-Acto knives to do like the detailing on Black Panther and everything. But his helmet is the first time that I've actually like molded my own thing. Of course I did the DL44 right there too, right there, but that didn't take any molding. But I actually was wondering if this air dry clay stuff that I had would bond to Lego and stuff, and it actually did perfectly. So I used air dried clay, and I made it like I made 2 ears. I just put it on there as like little blotches, and then I just basically formed them so they were completely flat to his head. And then I just kind of pointed them up so they were like completely even and looked good. And as you can see now, his helmet just looks like it's one piece. Like you can't even tell like what helmet it used to be, or that those ears are completely separate pieces. So it's very, very nice. And what I started out with was a Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars Mandalorian Trooper helmet, which basically just looks like these helmets right here, like kind of Jango Fett's or Boba Fett's, but they're really common guys, and I had quite a few of them, and I just had an extra Mandalorian Trooper helmet. So I took that, sanded down all of like those like bump things and stuff around the sides, so it was completely smooth. And then after I got done with that, of course I put the ears on there and then painted over it and everything. So yeah, so it started, that helmet right there started as a Mandalorian helmet and turned into that. So very, very awesome. I absolutely love these guys. Black Panther, they both turned out better than I thought they would, especially with the webbing on Spider-Man. The only bad thing about him is his eyes are maybe a little bit too far apart. Yeah, and then Black Panther, I didn't really know if I was going to be able to do like all those lines and details and everything on him that well. But with my X-Acto knife and everything, my awesome X-Acto knife kit thing, it's like ginormous, I was able to do it. So here are the pictures for both of them in more detail. So yeah, I will play those real quick and then we'll move on to the next thing. So yeah, so hopefully you guys like those pictures of them, like, and you got to see their backs and everything too. So yeah, so now moving on to my birthday presents. I actually only got like one actual like birthday present, which I was completely fine with. And but then I got $20 from my grandpa Wood, which was awesome because usually I get like 3 cards and I start getting them like a week before my birthday. But I didn't think I was gonna get any this year because I just now got one when I got home from school today, and it is here right here. And he knows I like cars, so he got a car one. And yeah. So then the inside, if you just want to pause the screen real quick if you want to read this. The handwriting is somewhat hard to read because it's nice and fancy or whatever. And yeah, so pretty nice little message in there if you want to pause that real quick if you really care to read it. But yeah, so inside that was $20, so I was just like, oh, sweet card. But then like I just picked it up and the 20 fell out, and I thought it was like a 5, so I picked it up and I was just like, wow. So yeah, so I gave him a big huge thank you, and him and my grandma would, and everyone that gave me birthday posts on my Facebook and everything. And I just gave them big old thanks. And so with that $20, I went to Target, and they like completely moved around like the movie section, and yeah, and they got like a whole bunch of new titles and everything, so that was really awesome. And what was really cool about those titles is most of them were like Best Picture winners and classic movies and everything, so I was very happy about that. So I picked up 3 titles today, just before we went to Kobe, which you would have just saw that we got back from a couple hours ago. So yeah, so I picked up 3 titles, so you can see it's been extended a little bit right there, and then up top. Okay, so yeah, those 3 titles are Blade Runner, The Final Cut, Scarface, and Scott Pilgrim vs. World. So starting off with Blade Runner, my only DVD that I got, because I have it on Blu-ray, but this was only $5, and of course if you just watched my review at the beginning of this video, I said that I still have not seen Blade Runner 2049, but probably just right when it comes out, I'm just gonna like rent it on Amazon Prime and watch that. But I figured might as well get Blade Runner, the original one. I still have not seen it, because of course I'm trying to really get this video done with, so I can post it as soon as I can. So yeah, but on the next day vlog, I will give my thoughts on these 2 movies, because of course I've seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and I gave my thoughts on it a couple day vlogs ago. But this one I have not seen yet, along with Scarface. So on the next day vlog, I will give my thoughts on both of them. And yeah, so Blade Runner, very classic movie, it's pretty high rated, and of course it's the first it's the first movie of the 2 Blade Runner movies so far. And yeah, so of course it's the final cut. Everyone says this is the best. They say it's like, it's a good movie, but it's really good if it's the final cut. So they had that. I really love the front cover, the art and everything. It has Harrison Ford in it, which is of course an amazing actor. Spine's pretty darn cool. I really love the logo and everything. And then the back's not too much, but a little bit of art. And then the disc does have a little bit of art. Just got Harrison Ford kind of sneaking around with the gun. So yeah, so got that. So next up is of course Scarface. This is one of the most iconic films of all time, one of the highest rated films of all time. And yeah, so really love the cover on that one. Just Al Pacino Scarface. And yeah, so just really cool front cover. Spine's pretty simple, it just says Scarface. And then the back is another one of those Blu-rays where it just has like the stats, whatever you want to call them, all over. But it's got a few pictures on the back right there. And then the disc is pretty darn cool. It's not colored or anything, but you can see, I don't know if it's supposed to go like that, and then the Blu-ray little logo thing is all crooked, or if the Blu-ray thing's supposed to go straight and then all that's crooked. So it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool too. So yeah, so Scarface, again, I will give my thoughts on both of those movies on my next day vlog. So very excited to watch that finally. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes, but of course I've seen quite a bit longer out of the hundreds and hundreds of films that I've seen. This one's only 117 minutes, so that's not that bad. And then last but not least, Scott Pilgrim vs. World. You guys know I gave my thoughts on this a couple day vlogs ago. And yeah, I really liked it. I've seen every single one of Edgar Wright's, at least solo films, of course not the ones where he collaborated with other directors to make, just the ones that are directed just by Edgar Wright. This is my second favorite film that he's made so far, of course, after Baby Driver, which is probably my most favorite film of all time currently. But yeah, this is my second most favorite Edgar Wright film, and currently it is actually the only second Edgar Wright film that I own. I like to own all of his films because I really love all of them. He's one of my most favorite directors working today. But the cool thing is the 2 that I do own are my top 2 favorites, because of course last day vlog I showed that I got Baby Driver, and now I got Scott Pilgrim. So Baby Driver I of course have Blu-ray and digital HD, and this one is also Blu-ray and digital HD. Was very happy to see that this was there. And it's got the main poster on the front, except it's blue, I'm guessing, because it's Blu-ray. I haven't seen the DVD, but if it was on DVD, I imagine that would be red like it usually is. Back is just like that. Spine is just like that. And then the disc is pretty cool. Usually, like when it's like Blu-ray discs like this, just Blu-ray and then blue. It doesn't usually have disc art, but this one does, and it's really cool. It kind of looks like it's like scratched out in there or something, but that's pretty darn cool if you can see that. It's basically just got that other trailer for Scott Pilgrim vs. the World where he's playing the guitar and everything. So yeah, so those are the 3 titles that I picked up. Okay, so now finally the final thing for this episode is pretty much my one big present that I got that I really needed because I haven't told you guys, but my cheap $15 tripod, because towards the very beginning of this channel when we first started, we just had this tripod for, I think, home videos when we used to do those a very long time ago, back when I was like 7 or so. And it was a pretty good tripod, but it broke after a little while. The legs stopped coming out and everything. So eventually I got my own, which was only $15. It's made out of pretty darn weak aluminum, and it's pretty much just a tripod with a level, and that's about it. If you guys don't remember it, it is just X-Tech. This is it in its case. And let me sit you guys down right there. And then basically you just like took it out like most tripod cases like this. And then with the little whatever you call these things. And then this is basically it. And then it had the little handle right there, which you can also make more loose or tighten it up there. And then it just had a little level right there, and then you could like make it kind of like that for cantric angles or whatever. But then it basically just folded out like that. There's no lock or anything. And then you did this with these little clamp things, and that's how you extended the legs. And you can see pretty darn flimsy. When you actually lock it up, like all 3 of the things, you can see it's really not that flimsy, but I mean, it is very light. It is the most light tripod I've ever felt. And I mean, for $15, this is pretty darn good. Like, if you're looking for just a starter tripod to last you, I believe I've had this for about a year and a half. If you're just looking for one of those, definitely recommend it. I can't remember the exact model, but it's by X-Tech. But yeah, so it actually broke one of the little, because there's little 3 divisions of each leg. And the last division of one of the legs, the little skinny one, actually broke a couple weeks ago. I was basically just deploying it to record a movie review, and then it pretty much just popped out. One of the clamps started getting like really hard to open and close, and so I just opened it one last time, and then all of a sudden the leg popped out, and my dad actually fixed it, but it's just not that professional of a tripod at all, and I, just in case if it breaks again, but this time for good. And yeah, but I got a new tripod as my one big birthday present, and it is a nice tripod, so I'll show you guys that in a second. But this is basically now just a backup tripod. I pretty much just keep it in this drawer, of course, with my mic. So yeah, so that's pretty much just a backup tripod, but I now have this tripod. So this one is a little too wide, unless if you take off the little top piece, it doesn't really fit in here, which is not that big of a problem. I can just carry it around because I rarely like have to ride my bike to go filming locations or anything. Sometimes I do, but not usually. So yeah, so this is pretty much my updated bag. Of course, when I'm traveling, there's a lot more stuff in here, like equipment and stuff. And then of course this right here is like exactly as big as my camera, which you just saw the strap for, but I showed it on day vlog. It is the Canon SX530 HS. And then, yeah, it pretty much fits perfectly right in here. So, of course, I'm filming with it right now, but this is where this camera goes. And then I basically have both my hard drives in there, both my camera chargers. These are all my, like, camera cleaning utensils and whatever. And then down there I have my flexible tripod. And then in that little thing was one of my Christmas presents from this past year, which is a tripod that can, like, extend and hold, like, little cameras or my iPod or phones or tablets or whatever. And then these are my 2 extra batteries, so I have 3, and then that's my cord to upload the stuff off of this camera onto my laptop. So yeah, so that's just my updated bag, of course, and then when I'm on trips, of course, my laptop like goes in there, which is over there, and just a ton of extra stuff, and that has extra pockets, just in case if you guys haven't seen this bag, which I showed a little while ago now. But yeah, and it's also by Manfrotto, which is probably the best, most expensive tripod company that there is. That is their little logo thing right there. So yeah, so really love this bag. And then of course when you unzip that, you can reach into the bigger pocket in there, and there's 2 little pockets on both sides, and really love this bag, and then nice padding and everything. But now onto the main event, my little tripod. You can see I haven't heard of this brand. This one is much heavier, but that's kind of good at the same time, because you can tell it's a lot better. That one was just like kind of weaker plastic and just like plain aluminum. That could dent if you just really flicked it pretty hard. But this one is made out of, the outer shell is made out of aluminum alloy, and then like the sliding inner shell parts are made out of carbon. I don't know if it's carbon steel or what, but carbon is usually pretty darn strong. Sadly, it's not carbon fiber, my most favorite material, but carbon fiber tripods are usually the most expensive. Yeah, so it is by, I don't know how you pronounce this. I think I just call it US Camel. I don't know if it's actually like USAML or whatever, but I just call it my US Camel. But this case is a lot nicer. You can see it has a circle thing on the bottom, so it actually keeps its shape when the tripod is even out of there, in or out. It keeps its shape, which is kind of nice. But this one also it opens the same way, of course, with this little thing, but this one also has a little carrying handle, which you can extend to make bigger or shorter. So opening it up, you can see it is a lot wider than my other tripod. So you can see here is that compared. So it's also a little taller, and when it's fully extended, it gets a lot taller. And I will do a comparison with pictures and stuff in a couple minutes. But so taking it out of the bag, here it comes. It's kind of, you gotta like fully extend this drawstring to get it out. Yeah, so this one is a lot nicer, and here it is. So you can see the colors. Usually I think gold's kind of tacky on anything, but I can tell you with the Black Panther movie, with the black surrounded by gold, and on this tripod, it really works. I don't think it looks like tacky or anything. I just think it looks really nice, actually. So yeah, so here is my new tripod. You can see it looks so much nicer than my other tripod. It's black, not silver. And yeah, you can see there's way more knobs and options than there was on my other tripod. Yeah, so basically when it folds inverted, of course, like that when it's in the bag. So how to deploy it is you basically just fold down each of the legs like so. And then the locks are actually pretty darn cool. You can see the locks right there and the little ridges. So you can lock it in right there, and that's, you can see, locked into place. But how you actually move it is you pull it out like so, and then you can move it to like the second ridge, and you just push it in right there, and then you can see it's locked in right there. And yeah, just like that. So it's pretty darn smooth. I really like that little option. And so I'm just gonna lock all these into place while I'm showing it real quick here. And I'll do pictures of like all the modes just so I save time by not like filming it all. You can see one of the legs is actually different. These two are the same, but this one has a pad on it that says US Camel or whatever, with a little lock thing right there, which you can actually unscrew, and I will show what that is for on the pictures. I'm not going to do it right now. Yeah, so also how this one opens is like most professional tripods, not the clasps that are kind of weird, and that's how my other tripod broke, of course. These ones are the ones where you just twist them and you just extend it like that, and it's so much more smooth and just a lot less chances to break. So basically there's 4 of them instead of 3 of them now. And you can see how tall it is already. And basically just undo each one of those. I'm actually unscrewing this thing right now, so I'm gonna hold that while I'm unscrewing these. And yeah, you basically just unscrew each one of those, and then once you do that, you can see that it extends. You can see how nice and smooth that is. It's much more smooth than my other one. And then once you have them extended, you basically just unscrew them, which I'm doing the opposite way. So yeah, but pretty darn nice, and you can see it extends quite a darn bit. So that is just one of, that one did not lock. So yeah, so you can see that is just one of the legs extended right there. So yeah, let me just lock this one. There we go. So yeah, I can't even really show it all on camera. I'm about to run into a wall, but it's really, really long. And so yeah, so I'm just gonna put this leg back, and then I'll just show a few other things before I just send it off to just some pictures to show like all the other options, because this tripod does a lot. It's pretty trusty tool. So you can see that these ones are also not just flat, they're like kind of curved all around, so you can put it on like any terrain. And then it has a counterweight where you can put something heavy on it, of course. So like when you have it set up, if you're like in a very windy situation or something, there's this little hook with like and it's like spring assisted, and you can, maybe if I pop one of these legs up a little bit, you can see it has this little hook thing that's actually spring assisted, and you can see it goes up and down and everything. And you can basically just put something heavy on that, and then of course it holds your tripod down. So I don't think I'll usually have to use that, because I'm not usually in like very windy things, especially like with the weight of this. I don't think it'll really be blowing it anywhere. But I do live in Montana, so you never know. And then it has this nice little strap there that doesn't look like you can take off, but that's pretty nice, just in case if you're like filming while walking, getting handheld shots or whatever. That's pretty nice for pretty much multiple reasons. And then of course you can make it even taller by undoing this one and this one. So overall, I can't remember exactly what inches it gets to. My other one I believe was like 48 inches, and it got when I'm standing, it got up to like right here at max or so. This one fully extended like to the max. It's about 1 centimeter taller than I am, and I believe currently I am 5'4.5" or so. So yeah, so pretty darn tall. I don't know why you would need a much taller tripod, but anyway, then you can see right here, that is the model number if you want to get this tripod or anything. And then it has this little dial right here which shows what degree you're at, and that's what this knob is for. You loosen that, and then you can twist that, and you can see that little thing comes up as a little arrow, and you can put it on whichever one you need. And that again is very smooth. You can see it's on 0 degrees exactly. Then you just tighten that back up. And then this big knob, I remember this one. This big knob, you can see there's actually a ball joint right here like my other one. You just had to there's a little clasp and you just undid it and then it did that. This one actually has a ball joint, so you can get like side shots, and you see once you undo that, then you can roll it all the way around and just go crazy. And then there's this little slot right here, so you can put it in there and just get completely sideways shots. So yeah, so that is pretty darn nice, and that's very smooth. And other than that, you can see it has one level right there, which is different than the average level. It's just a circle, and once the bubble is right in the middle of that red circle right there, it is all level. And there's actually another one right there. So this one you can tell when it's all nice and flat on the ground or whatever surface you're on. And then that one you can tell when it's all nice and just completely level, like this part's flat and everything. And yeah, so then it also has this little sliding thing, so you can take that off if you need to, which basically you just undo that, and then you can, yeah, so then you can actually take off the little top piece right there. So just in case if you ever need to replace that, or it's also for like quick release or anything, so you can just always have this on the bottom of your camera, which I don't do, but you can do it if you want to. So it also has this nice little handle on the bottom right there, so it will help with like screwing it into your camera. But basically what that's for is so if it's always on your camera, you don't have to like screw it on and everything. And you can basically just take your camera and just go like boop, and then just wind that up and get it back on there. So putting that back on, you can see it just fits in the little groove things right there. And then the little notches right there hold on to these little screw thingies on the bottom. So just putting that back on there, and then basically just make sure it's all nice and in the middle, and then you just do that, and it's kind of like a vase, or I mean a vase, a vice grip thing. So yeah, so it pretty much just slowly closes in on that until it's got a nice grasp on there. And yeah, so that's pretty much what all of the knobs do. Other than that, you can actually take this whole top part out and you can put it upside down. So then it holds your camera upside down. So if you have like a DSLR or anything like that, the screen will flip, and it's for taking micro shots maybe of like bugs or close-up shots or something like that of like plants or whatever. And then or maybe even like filming like closer to the ground but having it still stable because it's technically still on a tripod. And then you can like film like low angle shots and stuff. Yeah, so then other than that, you can also take this whole top part out, and then this leg right here, why it's so different from everyone else, is because you can actually unscrew it, and then this becomes I don't know what, because a bipod is 2, a tripod is 3. I believe it's called a monopod if it's 1. But basically, if you haven't seen these, they're usually at car shows, and that's why I was saying like I really wanted a tripod that could also do this. And it basically transforms into just one leg, of course. So basically you just would undo that, which I'll show more in the pictures, and you just do that, and then you take that top part, so then you can hold your camera on the top, and then it's just one thing. So like at car shows, instead of like taking pictures from now on, I can just like carry around this, and then I can just like, all I have to do is I don't even have to set up a tripod. I can just be like bam, and then it's instantly just pretty much level. So that's very, very nice. So this thing, and you could technically, it's a bipod now, but you're not supposed to use it like that. I don't really know why you would need to, yeah. So I will show you pretty much. I will have a little picture slideshow now of pretty much every single thing that you can possibly do with this tripod. I will pretty much do all the different combinations and everything real quick, and then yeah, we'll pretty much end off the video there. So pretty much after this little video montage, this video is pretty much done. So yeah, so this video I pretty much gave a movie review, showed all my presents and whatnot, and hopefully you guys liked everything in the intro, and my new custom Lego minifigures. And yeah, so one more thing I want to show real quick. Okay, so yeah, so the last thing I wanted to show real quick is my birthday card collection. Some of these are from, I believe there's like one from my mom from a Valentine's Day a couple years ago, and these are some of my birthday cards. Some of my mom and dad saved for me, because I believe the oldest one in here is from like my 3rd birthday or something like that. But these are basically just mainly birthday cards, and then there's like one Valentine's Day cards and maybe a few Christmas cards, but pretty much all birthday cards. So of course this is my only one that I got for this birthday, so I can add that to my collection. Usually I just get like one a birthday nowadays. So yeah, but yeah, so that's my card collection, getting pretty darn big. So I have now added that to the collection. So that is pretty much it. That's pretty much it for this video. So stay tuned now for my little montage. Just in case if you were looking for a tripod, then you can, if you just want to watch this, then go ahead, of course. But if you're just looking for a tripod, this will also be like kind of a little review for this. I mean, but I haven't, of course, tested it out yet. But I will definitely be testing it out with that secret project that I mentioned on the last day vlog, that I'm still not going to tell you guys what it is yet, because I said on the next day vlog, not on the next video. So on the next day vlog, definitely stay tuned. I will be announcing what that project is finally, but I will definitely be using this a lot, because I've been using the other tripod in that I've of course had to be careful, because I don't know when that leg's gonna pop or something. So just a backup tripod, but I will probably be using this full time from now on. So just know, whenever I'm doing my movie reviews now and short films, and anytime someone's obviously not holding it, it's sitting on top of this. So yeah, so the last little thing I forgot to show with this tripod is it's actually in my camera bag, and there's a separate attachment that I now keep in my camera bag, which is this thing. So you guys know my little iPod tripod thing that I got for Christmas. Well, now this pretty much also takes that place, because that thing is really, really cool, and I absolutely love it, and I still use it and everything. Yeah, but it's but now this thing has pretty much the same thing. So basically, that other thing just has one that it could hold like small cameras and iPods and stuff. But now this one, not only does it have like the same size that that one does, but it also on the other side has a bigger one, which can get ginormous. Like you can put like probably like an iPad Pro in there. So yeah, that's pretty darn big. And then this one that's about iPod size right there, but it gets about as big as, I mean, pretty much, I don't know much phones that are that wide. Of course, some phones are like as big as tablets nowadays. But that's really cool. I mean, you can have like a dual angle shot, or not dual angle shot, but like a dual view shot. So you can have like one device filming this way while the other's filming that way or something. Or you can just have in one attachment, you can have the ability to put your iPad or phone on or anything. And you don't even have to, because my other tripod that can film with the iPod and everything, to film with a small camera, you would actually have to completely like unscrew and everything this thing, and then you would have to put that in, and you would have to like switch it out. But this one, you don't even have to take this whole contraption off. All you have to do is, you can see that, all you have to do is you just screw that on right there, and then it's not completely centered right now, but you can see just like that, then you got that. So very, very nice, very quick, as you just saw there. Just hopped off there. So yeah, so very, very cool, and I absolutely love this tripod. So if anybody that is that said thank you to me, or I mean, if anybody is watching this that said happy birthday to me or anything like that on Facebook or whatever, and especially Grandma and Grandpa for the card, and my mom and dad for this, and also taking me to that movie yesterday, and taking me to Kobe, which we go there mainly for birthdays. We go there, pretty much me and Bailey usually go there for birthdays, but Bailey didn't go to dinner tonight either. It was just my mom, dad, and Brayton and me, like it usually is. So yeah, but that was very good, like always. Usually they do a little more tricks, like flipping eggs everywhere and doing this little like ping doll thing. But that guy didn't do it this time. But I still got, he made the people sing happy birthday to me twice. I don't really like when people sing me happy birthday, because you heard when they did the little onion volcano, they sang happy birthday, and then he brought out that little sundae for me later, and they sung it again. So yeah, so I don't know who told him it was my birthday, but my dad probably secretly did or something. But usually we do that to my mom at Applebee's or whatever. Yeah, so that was pretty cool though. So I had a pretty fun time. And yeah, so my school day wasn't that great today. It's usually pretty good, I guess, but it just, there's quite a few things that were not pretty good today. So today wasn't that great of a school day. But other than that, it was a pretty darn good birthday and a pretty darn good sweet 16, if I do say so myself. So yeah, so that is pretty much it for this video. Stay tuned if you want to see the little slideshow of my tripod stuff. And yeah, other than that, that is pretty much it for this day vlog. For this episode. I'll see you on the next video, which I don't think will be a day vlog. It will probably be some sort of skit or something. I believe, kind of planning one. And yeah, so then I'll see you then. So stay tuned for that slideshow right now. But other than that, that is pretty much it. So I'll see you all later. Bye.